or neither of us are going to get any money from it.
Campbell, it pains me to say it, but you're right for a change. The war's not going to do anybody any good at all. But the thing is, it's the king's got his own ideas about how to fight wars.
Oh, he's got this Oliver Sinclair. Have you heard the rumours?
Aye, I've heard the rumours, all right. I think everybody in Scotland's heard the rumours about the king and Oliver Sinclair.
More importantly, he now talks, apparently, in private with Oliver Sinclair about him taking command of the army. How do you think we lords are going to react to that?
Not too good at all. My lords and ladies, please forgive just for... Our minds away all over the place here. The king, you know, we're on the verge of warfare with England, again, because of the king's refusal to meet with Henry VIII. And of course, Campbell here didn't improve matters when he gave Sir Ralph Sadler, the English ambassador, the runaround, took him to Glasgow and pretended it was Stirling, for goodness sake. But the sad thing is, Sadler fell for it until 2 days later when he was approached and he was actually told where he was to watch his English tongue.
Give the king some credit. I think he has a genuine fear that had he met Henry over the border, he'd have been taken prisoner. Henry was perfectly capable of doing that.
Aye, that is so. Well, anyway, first of all, before the king comes in, is there anybody actually here from England today that's willing to admit it?
Do not be frightened. We will only give you 5 years' sentence in the lower dungeon. Hands up if you're from England.
You are.
My God, madam, what a fine filly you are, eh? My God, I have to say, madam, they produce them well in England.
Campbell!
Perhaps an assignation behind the stables later. And do
Campbell!
bring 2 friends.
Put her down, you never know where she's been. Well, we do know it's England. And you boys and girls, are you fine when the king comes in? You won't be afraid of the king. Good men. What about you girls? You're not afraid of the king, are you? No,
I think
don't be afraid of
these 2 young men would make fine soldiers for the king's army.
Make fine soldiers indeed. Where are you from, laddie? Scotland, you make a good soldier. Where are you from, son? You're from Scotland, you make a good soldier. Where are you from? Liverpool. Liverpool. Well, Liverpool's nearly in Scotland.
We have an English spy here who didn't tell us she was in the audience.
Aye, she was in the audience. Well, anyway.
My God, Erskine, wouldn't these make fine soldiers' trousers? Look at this. I think she's wearing these for a day.
They look like French.
Oh,
all stand for the king. All stand for the king.
Your Grace.
Welcome to Great Hall, Your Grace.
Thank you.
Your Grace, be your public. Yes, they are sitting. Your Grace, how goes it this day?
It goes well, however, affairs of state are pressing.
Well, we know, Your Grace, we know, Your Grace. If there's anything, Your Grace, you would like to discuss with Campbell and the rest of your courtiers, however, be aware, Your Grace, we have got an English agent, shall we say.
Who?
The very front, Your Grace, with a long
fine filly, Your Grace, I have to say.
Coat. Obviously one of Ralph Sadler's ladies.
So my Uncle Henry has thought that I would divulge all my secrets in your bedchamber, enjoying the delights that you can offer. By all means, my dear. It will be delightful, but you will be getting no secrets.
The Queen is in the next chamber.
I do
Your Grace,
apologize.
Erskine and I have been discussing. You know that we greatly differ in our views on things. And I admit I require more money, as does Erskine, but I see well how this progression of the problem of England is going. And I would like to say that I would be able to assist in any way I can, Your Grace. My loyalty is unquestionable.
Will you provide troops if required?
I certainly will. My Highlanders will be at your side, Your Grace. Anything you wish.
Will you obey my commands?
I will indeed.
Will you cross the border if I require it?
I will, sir. On one condition.
Your Grace, may I...
No conditions.
Very well, Your Grace.
Your Grace, I would like to point out, I couldn't help but overhear with Campbell, that of course you're going to rely on the Highlanders. Your Grace, remember these Highlanders will stop fighting at the drop of a smell of whiskey. It's not a good idea to recruit the Highlanders, nor the Borderers. You need loyal
the Borderers.
men. You need loyal men from the lowlands of Scotland, not the Highlanders.
Aye, Erskine, but don't compare my Highlanders to these roguish Borderers. Your Grace, they're never to be trusted. They've turned against you so often.
The Borderers?
Yes.
The Maxwells, Scots, Kerrs. And as for the Armstrongs, don't get me started on the Armstrongs.
Your Grace, I I would also like to suggest you do not cross the border. Your Grace, take
Why?
it from because I am a soldier, Your Grace. I am a soldier, I know. We want to draw the English up here to this area of Stirling. We want to draw them to the edge of the Highlands. It makes it easier for Campbell, and more importantly for him, makes it cheaper for him, Your Grace. Your Grace, take them in here. The further we get them from London, the better. Your uncle grows fat and lazy. He's not going to provide his army to march this far north, Your Grace. We will have it should they invade.
Hold, Erskine, hold. If we cross the border, on the other hand, there will be ample revelry for our troops. There will be pillage, looting for my men.
Oh, Campbell,
you know my Highland...
the money. I ask you, my lords and ladies, who here truthfully thinks we should draw the English up to this area? All those in favour, raise your hand.
But Erskine,
The Scottish public are
if we pull Henry's troops up, you can guarantee there's going to be Europeans in them. Surely I'll run the risk of them rampaging through my own towns, destroying my villages, destroying my crops. Is it not better to take the fight into England?
Look at it this way, Your Grace. If we go over the border and we lose over the border, that doesn't just leave the borders open to devastation. It leaves the whole of the damn country.
Erskine, on the other hand, His Grace is correct. Have we not suffered enough on the border? Our abbeys pillaged and burned by the English?
Listen,
no.
We can build more churches. We can provide plenty more abbots.
Oh, and where is the money coming from for that? You're the very man who's demanding money for the army that the king doesn't have.
Campbell, I thought you and I had an agreement. My lords and ladies, I am putting it to you that we are better fighting the army of England should they decide to come over right here to this area. You're talking about the English of Europeans. Your Grace, we've been provided with some of the finest French armour and, of course, the muskets you witnessed earlier on. Captain Lundy is an expert in this warfare in the field.
Erskine, you saw these firelock things that they were using there. They're totally unreliable. The English archers are far better equipped to deal with these men than ours are.
You have the cannon also.
When did we ever win a battle with cannon? We must rely on our foot and our cavalry.
Does it not take days to take the cannon down?
Oh, Your Grace, we do not need to take the cannons down. They will come to us. We will get them from Edinburgh, Linlithgow, and here. We have a line.
Aye, you forget. I see doom in this, I tell you, Erskine. Remember Flodden.
We can't forget Flodden. We can't forget Flodden. Nobody will forget Flodden.
Surely...
This man here still thinks that bows and arrows, pieces of wood and bits of string, and jagged sticks are the way to fight battle. Who's with me with gunpowder? Who's in favour of jagged sticks? The Highlanders.
You fools. You fools. Don't you understand? The bow is still mightier than these firelocks.
Erskine,
You've seen
I'm not a
them
military
yourself.
man. But think about this. If we go into Northern England, we take Carlisle, should we get defeated there, we can retreat. But if we pull them north and we get defeated here, there is nothing to stop them.
Your Grace, they want nothing beyond Stirling. Grace, the further they are from London, the better. When they have over the border, they have Carlisle, they have Eyemouth, and of course they have Norham to rely on supply lines.
Erskine.
This far north, they have nothing.
Erskine, why are we being involved in this in the first place? Simply because the French have requested support through the Old Alliance, because England has attacked France. How many times have we invaded England? Your own father invaded England at a whim of the French, and what happened? We lost at Flodden. Dare we repeat such an accident again?
You overstepped the mark. My father honoured a treaty. Would you have us Scots renege on treaties like Henry does?
Aye, Campbell, would you?
Nay, sir. I would not renege on a treaty, but there are ways of doing it. We set foot in England, and no more. We don't confront an open army.
We draw them north. The public has spoken. Lundy.
Yes,
What is your opinion? That the same as mine?
opinion, Your Grace, I agree with Lord Erskine. We must draw them into a battle in our own terms. We can't fight them in England. Men fight harder and stouter when they're defending their own homes.
Here, will we fight harder to defend our own land?
Are you surprised this man Lundy is in Erskine's pay?
The only way you will win this battle is with billhooks, shoulder to shoulder, wielded by stout lowlanders. Put no faith in this Highland rabble. They are undisciplined, and they don't have the guts to stand in a pitched battle.
Lies. Lundy, you know as well as I do that the English are the experts with the billhooks. Your men have only become acquainted with these recently.
And that's why we must draw them onto our ground. We must pull them into a battle that we make the terms. We can't fight them in their own ground. We'll be destroyed. What happens then, Your Grace? You've lost your army.
Lundy,
The whole country is
show the king. Show the king what we can do.
I urge caution.
Anderson! The only way you will win, Your Grace, is if stout men like this are wielding their billhooks, shoulder to shoulder. Tighten up! Right next to each other, with all their weapons presented in a solid wall of spikes. And all we have to do is stand and kill them as they run towards us, Your Grace. As soon as they come into range, through the eye, up into the brain, twist and rip free. Through the mouth, severing the tongue, out the back of the head, Your Grace.
Excuse me.
Yes, my
Being
lord.
English, you'll need bigger fights for our mouth.
Good point. Good point. Top of that, straight into the throat, Your Grace. Sever their windpipe, leave them to drown in their own blood. And if all that fails, into the guts and twist repeatedly, wrapping the organs around the bill's head and ripping them from their body. No man will stand with his guts on the floor at his feet, Your Grace. We must make our own terms. We can't fight them on their own ground.
Your Grace, may I ask a simple question? Captain Lundy, what are the English going to be doing when you're standing there, waiting to poke them in the eye? Their archers will have you overpowered. Not only that, their cavalry will you have run down.
And that's why you fight them from the high ground.
Lundy,
Archers can't shoot uphill, cavalry can't charge uphill.
I also have information, Your Grace, through Ralph Sadler by getting him drunk in Glasgow, which was an ingenious idea for Your Grace, incidentally. Ralph Sadler tells me that the English are moving more and more towards a heavy cannon, falconets, they call them. And these cannons are light, manoeuvrable, and Henry is purchasing several hundred, as we speak, from makers in the lowlands of Germany and the Dutch provinces.
And what do we have to counter this?
We have our men, we have their pikes, we have the muskets from Swiss, from the land of the Swiss, and of course, we have good, stout lowland men.
These will stand against cannon. You jest, Erskine.
We are not suggesting these men stand against the cannon. That's what your Highlanders are for, Campbell. Your Highlanders
Nay,
are to
Erskine.
stand against the cannon.
Nay, Erskine.
Because I can guarantee, Your Grace, as soon as they see a baggage cart, the Highlanders will run towards it.
We will be first in the charge, but not towards the baggage cart, towards the English.
Aye.
Unlike your lowlanders, who have run more often than our men have.
How dare you? How dare you?
The men were Flodden. How many of you were captured and taken prisoners, slaughtered there?
None of us were taken prisoner because we fought to the last.
You two bicker like women.
We do not.
Am I to expect that you two are going to lead the army?
Indeed, Your Grace.
That your contingents will be in the army?
Yes,
Yes.
Your Grace.
Will they stand together? I doubt it.
Well,
Re-
Campbell
Ladies,
has come to some sort of
these two are me. They are not filling me with confidence.
Your Grace, Campbell and I are agreed that our armies will stand side by side.
We will
You
fight
promise?
We
together.
promise.
We do, Your Grace.
My army will probably be more in front of the Highlanders, but we will stand side by side.
Only to begin with, we can run faster than you.
Oh,
towards the enemy.
see? I suppose they could do this on the battlefield and bore the English.
Your Grace.
Really? So who is going to lead this army?
I will, Your Grace.
Oh, here.
You're going to lead the army.
Indeed.
You, a postmaster, who's more interested in cakes and bread.
I'm a more experienced soldier than you, sir.
Aye, in the Highlands of
You're
Scotland.
merely a boy.
Your Grace, you never made me captain of stirling in Edinburgh for nothing. I will lead the army. I'm your leader. These men here will agree. Should I lead the army?
Yes, Your Grace.
Oh, they're your own men. Is it any
Should
surprise?
I lead the army? Should Campbell lead the army?
Oh, thank you very much. Aye. Now I know why they call you peasants.
The army, you do the English's work for them.
Oh,
Here, Lundy.